Investment committee meetings are a great place for plan sponsors to discuss the latest trends in defined contribution plans, from investments to plan design to communications and education. But one area that we know that plan sponsors focus on is fees. And joining me now is Cammack Retirement Group consultant, Jennifer Stevens. Jen, thanks for joining us on the show today. I would imagine that there are some barriers to fee levelization. And wondering if you could talk a little bit about what you see as some of the barriers, both from the plan sponsor and the record keeper side.
Yeah, so I sort of mentioned a few. On the record keeper side, it really is just whether or not they can provide the service. Like I said, some of them are a little bit closer to being a true fee levelization than others, but most of them can offer some form of fee levelization. As a plan sponsor, the conversation is kind of difficult because although it might be more equitable for your participants, they're going to start seeing on their statement a negative sign, some of them. So that's something that they have to consider. And while it might be good in the end, it is more equitable and they can justify it, they're a lot of times concerned about the backlash and that type of thing. Otherwise, very, very limited barriers. It's really an easy process to implement. But that conversation is hard with plan sponsors. I will tell you though, we've gone through it with a couple of our clients and largely heard nothing, actually. And I think that kind of is the way it goes with a lot of these plan changes. There's a lot of hype about it. You're concerned. You think that your participants are going to freak out. And they really take it in stride.
Yeah, I mean, I think the belief is that by many participants and even some plan sponsors that administration's free. And we know that there is no free lunch. But I mean, if you bring up some really important points about engaging the participants and making sure that there's a lack of disruption. And it's very similar, I would think, to the crediting rate discussion. So if you're moving to an investment like a general account or a stable value fixed fund that has a lower crediting rate or lower floor, that's potential disruption because people can say, okay, participants are very myopic. They focus on crediting rate and they focus on fees and what they see on their statements. I would imagine that it's a similar conversation and one that it just takes time to kind of walk through with the plan sponsor.
Yeah, exactly. It's always just a process. You have to get on board and you have to get your participants on board.
Jen Stevens, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you.